When doing some research on EFT and its relation to meditation, I was kind of disappointed with what I found or didn't find in regard to information about these two modalities and working with them. Both of them are very simple practices. If you're familiar with meditation, you know that there's particularly mindfulness-based meditations or Vipassana kind of meditations is where we allow the mind to settle and the body to become relaxed, and then we get a better look at what is coming up for us. And we find an object and we place our attention on it. Things come up and we might label them or just see them for what they are, and we can then come into the present moment and we get a chance to see our true nature. EFT, it helps to have a little bit of a background in EFT to fully understand what I'll be explaining here. But EFT is a modality where we tap on different meridians of the body, and in that respect it's kind of a combination between Chinese medicine practices relating to acupuncture and acupressure, so these different points of the body, and it's also a kind of a therapeutic psychological kind of practice where we take a statement and we're working with this particular statement. And bringing these two together, what I noticed online anyway, and through looking at other videos that people have done, is they're taking a look at meditation and how it prepares a person for EFT, or how it kind of relaxes a person and gets them ready for the EFT practice. Or it's related to how a person is failing to do their practice. So in other words, they might be tapping and working with the issue of not finding time or procrastinating the meditation practice in the first place. So it's looked at as two completely different modalities that are trying to enhance each other, particularly meditation trying to enhance and help out with the EFT practice. But what I like to do is look at them as really a combination of how they can both help each other. And that's what I'll be talking about here. Now, EFT, if you're not familiar with it at all, I'll give you a kind of a synopsis on it. It's also called tapping. EFT is emotional freedom technique. And when I started working with it, I immediately saw the relation with EFT and meditation, in that we are staying with a particular thing and working around it, working with that particular thing. In this instance, that particular thing is a statement. So we start with a statement. First of all, I want to talk about the tapping and where we do so on the body. There's these points in the body, the top of the head, and when we tap, we use a couple of fingers, maybe 3 fingers, and we usually use our dominant hand and taps maybe 5, 7 times to these points. There's a point between right where the eyebrow meets the ridge of the nose here, and then on the side of the eye, these are meridians, and then underneath the eye on the bone, probably about 1 inch from the pupil, and then below, between the nose and the top lip, this area right here, and then the cleft of the chin, right in the chin, and then the soft spot right underneath the collarbone is another area. And then an area that a lot of people like to use is, for the women, right where the bra strap would be, or underneath the armpit. And these are some of the primary areas that the meridians are running through. And it could be not necessarily like the end of a meridian, or anything like that, but these are just points that have been proven to connect with the different meridians, there's approximately 300 different meridians running through the body, so we can't possibly tap on them all. So it's not as fine-tuned as like a acupuncture might be, for example. Now, We start with what is called the karate chop. This is another meridian that's very common. And when you see somebody do this, it's a strange, very strange looking practice, but it's very effective. And every time I've seen somebody do it, or any time I've worked with somebody, it has had a positive effect. Every time. I've never run into a situation where it didn't work for somebody. So it's very, very amazing in that regard. And if it's done consistently, people have reported just amazing benefits from it. But it looks weird. It looks strange if you're not used to it. So we start with a karate chop point, and this is actually where we set up. This is called the setup, where we have a question or a statement, not a question, but a statement that we're using to work with. So if we had and we can use it for virtually anything. So if we tap on the karate chop point, and some people like to tap on either hand, it doesn't matter. That's the same way with these points here. We can tap on both at the same time, or just on one side. It doesn't seem to matter, whatever. So there's no exact science to this. It's just effective. That's all we need to know at this point. So we have a setup statement, and we can use virtually anything: physical, mental, a situation, maybe anything that is bothering us. So we can even say my sore knee, my aching knee, the pain in my knee. And then we want to ask ourselves, how, on a scale from 0 to 10, how important is this? How much is it bothering me? Now, 10 being very, very crucial. I mean, very severe degree, and 0 being nothing. So the pain in my knee is, I'll say, an 8. The pain in my knee is an 8. It's really bothering me. It's quite a bit. It's there consistently, pretty consistently. So if I tapped on that, I might go start off with, even though we want to reaffirm what is happening. So even though I deeply accept myself, I understand that this pain in my knee is an issue. This pain in my knee, we're reaffirming what's happening here. This pain in my knee, this pain in my knee, this pain that I feel in the knee, this pain in the knee, this pain in the knee. Now, if we wish, we could go back, and this is a very light form of the practice. We could ask ourselves again, on a scale from 0 to 10, how do we feel? Maybe it went down from an 8 down to a 7, maybe, because we're addressing the issue. We're doing something about it. We're working with it. We're noticing it. Our awareness is on that statement. So if we want to take that a little bit deeper, we could do it this way. Even though I completely and deeply love and accept myself, I notice that there's a pain in my knee. This pain in the knee is an issue for me. That's why I'm working with it right now. I notice that if I'm thinking of something else, the pain in the knee is not so severe. This is something that I can easily work through, and I have the means to do so. If I focus on other things, other parts of the body, the pain doesn't seem to be so severe. I can even give the pain a color and have some fun with it. I'll give it a soothing, cool color. I can work with this pain and help it subside. I can even choose to partially ignore the pain and go on with my day. Now, then we look at that. Again, how, on a scale from 0 to 8, for example, how do I feel about that? Maybe it's a 6. Maybe it's a 5. If it was down to 4, it would be a 50% relief in that issue. Now, the question is, how do we use this in relation to meditation? The first example that I ran across when researching EFT and meditation that other people are doing is using the issue of I'm procrastinating the practice. Even though I love and deeply love and accept myself, I'm not making it to the cushion. There is for some reason that I'm not making it to the cushion. I know meditation is beneficial for me. I know that it's beneficial for all my people in my world. It's a very healthy and hearty practice. It's a practice that is proven to be very effective. I know that it can benefit my life and life of others by practicing it. And then we could reevaluate from a 0 to 10. But the more effective method that I've found is to use it perhaps before, maybe even the middle, and then after a meditation session in this way. Now, in the Theravada Buddhist tradition, there are what is called 5 hindrances. These 5 hindrances are 5 factors that hinder our happiness. They can hinder our practice as far as getting to the cushion. They can hinder our level of concentration. And when we look at them and talk and study them in the Buddhist Sutras, for example, there's lots of talk about the hindrances hindering our depth of concentration. So if there is something that is hindering our practice or hindering our life, hindering our happiness, hindering our concentration in some way, it's one of these 5 factors, 5 hindrances. And it's worthwhile to memorize these, totally worthwhile. The first one is desire, that's wanting more of something. The second one is hindrance, that's wanting less of something. It can include fear and anger and these kinds of things, or just something that we don't want. We don't have to necessarily know these in order, but these are the 2 big ones. Doubt is a huge one. If we have any kind of doubt and we know that the doubt is there, we're doing ourselves a huge favor by understanding what doubt is and how it can creep up and how we cannot see it when it's obvious. So we want to make the doubt very clear on what is happening. We doubt that the meditation practice is working. We doubt that we're benefiting from it. We doubt that we're going to find time. We doubt that we have the education. We doubt that we might not be worthy to be a meditator. All these different things. Now, the other ones are another one is restlessness and worry, and that's kind of a circling of the mind. It's a never settling of the mind. We worry about the past. We worry about the future. We are restless in the body. We are restless in the mind. We can't settle down. And we can see that in meditation, where the mind, especially for a new beginning meditator, they always seem to report, my meditation was good, but I don't know if I'm going to be very good at it because my mind is so restless. It happens to everybody. And then after we have a consistent practice in meditation, that settles down. And then the 5th factor, the 5th hindrance is what is called sloth and torpor, or drowsiness of the mind, or even drowsiness of the body. It's fatigue. It could be boredom, these kinds of things. So we have desire, aversion, doubt, restlessness and worry, and fatigue, some kind of draining feeling. Could be that sinking feeling. It could be a part of depression. Now, these might not be so evident singly when we look at them individually. It could be combinations of things. Even the desire and the aversion, this kind of, is it really a need or a wanting for things to be different than what they currently are, which is the primary problem that a lot of people have. That's why for example, Buddha's very first teaching of the Four Noble Truths, he pointed out, he said that we suffer because of desire. But it's more probable, at what he was pointing to, is that we suffer for the desire for things to be different. And so we want to watch out for these things, a combination of desire, aversion, restlessness and worry, doubt, and fatigue. So when we're in meditation, or even before we get into meditation, if we know and we spot any of these, we want to see them for what they are. And that's what we're using for the statement for the EFT, for the tapping. So if we're, even before we start meditating, during meditation or after meditation, we've noticed that a hindrance of doubt, for example, it's always a good one to work with. If doubt arises, it's something that I work with. This doubt that I have is very severe. On a scale from 0 being none to 10 being extreme, It's a 9. For some reason, there's lots of doubt, okay? So even though I completely love and accept myself, I'm very comfortable with who I am, I understand that there's this doubt. So I'm reaffirming this statement. I'm seeing it with awareness. There's awareness of doubt. I have this doubt. This doubt is hampering my meditation practice. It's hampering my happiness. This doubt is hampering my ability to practice fully. I have this doubt that keeps creeping up. I'm very happy that I can see it. Now I can work with it. This doubt is opposite of being completely limitless in every way. Doubt is hampering my ability to be friendly and to be completely open for everything and all opportunities and offerings in life. This doubt is derailing me in such a way that by seeing it, I should be grateful. This doubt is probably my biggest hindrance right now, and to see it is very empowering for me. So there's this awareness, this keen awareness and I'm staying with the program. I'm seeing this doubt and I'm working with it. But not just mentally, as we might, like in contemplating or understanding doubt, but we're physically working through this EFT, this tapping, and recognizing this doubt for what it is. And if we were hitting the meridians and that's working for us, fine. Even if we don't even believe that these meridians, tapping on the meridians is beneficial, this physical activity connected to the statement is very beneficial. I know it is because it works. And I encourage you to try it yourself. Another one we could work on is desire. I have this desire for a change of state. Let's just say that I want my state to change. I have this desire for a state change. And that could mean ingesting something like food or alcohol, or it could mean turning on the computer or the TV and just disengaging with life temporarily. So we have this desire for a state change, and we want to rate it from 0 to 10, and then we rate it again afterwards. Even though I completely love and accept myself, I notice that there is this desire. This desire is very negative for me. It's not really a part of me. This desire is derailing me the same way that doubt does. This desire keeps coming up, but if I see it, I can work with it. This desire can be very strong, but when I see it, I can weaken it. I see it weakening, I'm on top of it. I can be much stronger than this desire is. I can overcome this desire. This desire has no part of me. It has no business being here. We could go through this 3 or 4 times and then rate it again. My desire has diminished down to 3. I have no desire. I'm completely content with the way things are right now. I have no desire for things to be any different than what they currently are. That's actually the desired outcome, the desired benefit from the practice. Anyway, so when we are in meditation, if we spot any of these hindrances, we can tap on them, and I'm sure that you'll find benefit from this practice. So don't be afraid to mix modalities. It's a very, very common thing to mix hypnotherapy and meditation and EFT and meditation and some Byron Katie work, or even using like Abraham Hicks focus wheel with meditation, things like this. And I think we'll be seeing more and more of this blending of these modalities, just like the blending of different kinds of meditations and things like that. So I hope this is helpful for you, and if you have any comments, please contact me. I welcome any kind of suggestions or comments from you. Thank you.